All right, I'd like to add a texture to the scroll now. So let's go into material preview mode and see what we can do. So first off, I'm going to go into shading, and with the scroll selected, we'll create a new material. Let's just call it Fireball Scroll, and then we'll Shift A, and we will do a search for a image texture and put it right here. And then we will go ahead and open a scroll texture, and we will grab the Fireball one, and we will run that from color to base color in the Principled BDSF, and we can see that there it is. Now if we open the scroll up, we can see that the Fireball is not quite where I want it to be. So let's go to see what we can do with that. So let's add a mapping node and a texture coordinates. So we can do a Shift A, and we will search for each of those. And we will want mapping so that we can control the placement of things more precisely. And actually, now that I look at this, rather than generated, I think I want this to be running from UV. So let's do UV to vector. And while we're at it, let's take a look at our UV tab. I think we're okay there, but if there's an issue, we might come back here. And then for placement, let's change things on Y. So I'm going to just let's just do something more basic. Let's try 0.5 for placements. Okay, there we go. Now we're starting to get something. All right, that has things roughly centered. Now I've got mirroring happening, so I've got basically two fireballs showing up where I want one. So let's go back to our modifiers and see if we can make a change there. And under data, we will adjust the mirroring on V, and let's adjust this offset and see what we get. I'm grabbing on U. Let's try it on V. There we go, something like that. It's a little bit off, but we can play with that a little bit. From this vantage point, and based on the original graphic, the fireball should actually be pointing the opposite direction. So on mapping, I'm going to go to X, and I'm going to flip the scale on this. So I'll go -1 instead of 1. There, that's a little bit better. I'm off a little bit. So let's see if we can do a little bit of fine tuning. So leave that at 0.45. And then for the offsets, let's all right, so that seems about right. Now I see that I've got a problem down here as well, in that I don't want the graphic showing on both sides. So let's see if I can't make an adjustment there. I'm going to put in another image and see if I can mix them. So we'll just do a Shift A. I'll do a search for an image texture again. I will open a different scroll texture that doesn't have a graphic on it. And then we're going to do a search for a mix. I want to do mix shader, but I think mix color is actually the appropriate one. Sometimes it seems counterintuitive to me as to which ones are which. And let's just try mixing those together and seeing what we get. Back, no, geometry. We'll try geometry. Back facing. So there's a back facing node. So I'm going to run that into the mix. And it flipped. It flipped opposite of what I want. So let's redo these. Okay, so there we go. Have it working. I have a little bit of a discrepancy there. I've got like a seam showing, so I might have to do a little bit of tweaking, but something like this should work out for what I'm thinking.